This episode of the Fatherhoods podcast is brought to you by FlyDad, where fatherhood stays fly. So my youngest, she's 5, and the I'd say over the last week, maybe 3 nights or so, she's gotten up super early. Like she's going to kindergarten now, thank God, and now we kind of have a sleep time routine where she'll get up at like early at 6:45 in the morning, and then we kind of getting to school. But she's gotten up at like 4, at like, a little after midnight, that kind of shit. And then she ends up in our bed. And when I ask her, like, when I come to in the morning, I'm like, yo, so what happened? Like, what's going on? And she's like, somebody's watching me. And I'm like, the fuck? So, and then she, like, what do you mean? Like, no, there's somebody like a ghost watching me. And I was like, how are you putting this together? So I'm asking all these questions. And she's like, no, I think it's grandma. And I'm like, but you haven't seen, like, my wife's mom who passed away. And she's like, no, I think it's her. And I'm like, but you've barely seen any pictures of her. Like, we have pictures, but they're like tucked away somewhere. And the last time she probably saw them was like, I don't know, years ago. But she referenced where we keep the pictures. She was like, no, it's in the brown box, the brown wooden box. So we go grab the box, start fumbling through pictures, not telling her anything. And she's like, that's her? Yeah, she looks like that. And like, she kept picking out the pictures.
That's freaky.
Yo, son. And my wife is like, she on some like Casper the Friendly Ghost type shit. Like, my wife, like, she be seeing spirits every now and again. Like,
she like nonchalantly. Oh, there's one.
yeah, she's like, no, so and so's here. I'm just like, nah, you can't do that. You can't tell me that shit.
I think I'm gonna co-sign your daughter on that because I have a similar story from when I was a kid. So I was probably around the same age as your daughter, and there'd be times where, depending on like my mom's relationship with her dad, my grandfather, like if we needed a place to stay, we'd stay at his place. And his place was kind of in the woods. It was kind of there, it had weird vibes, right? But I remember being in the bed with my mom. We're watching TV, and we were on a ground level area, and there was a window in that room. And I remember looking over, and I saw a lady hanging upside down, looking at me, looking at us.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I wasn't scared. We're watching TV, and
wait, she's upside down?
Yeah, she's
like
upside.
Like a vampire?
Like a vampire, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because it was kind of like a half window.
Right.
So it's from her waist up, but it was she's upside down.
Okay.
and I said to my mom, like, Mom, who's this lady looking at us in the window? She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, the lady right there. And, I'm pointing. She's like, I don't see any lady. What does she look like? So I start describing her. And then my mom gets freaked out, because basically her mom, my grandma, she died around the same time I was born. So I never got to meet her. I never saw her. I'd never seen pictures of her. I was still young. And the way I described her, with hairstyle, hair color, glasses, all, was what she looked like before she passed. And so,
and you had no knowledge of that, right? Like, there was no picture or nothing for you to see.
And you remember this vividly as an adult right now?
I do. Yeah, I remember it.